Now, the CBS 21 Political Insiders with Rob Hanrahan.
And I'm joined by Charlie Gerow, our Republican strategist, Tony May, the Democratic strategist. And guys, you know, this health care thing has just gotten to the point where it appears late this afternoon the president just simply gave up and said, look, you know, why don't we just repeal Obamacare? And there is a bill out there, Charlie, I want to start with you, calling for repealing Obamacare, but over a 2-year period to work on the replacement. Is that the answer here?
Well, at this point, it appears to be the only thing that's even marginally viable, and that may not have the votes to pass. But I think it's important for Leader McConnell to put it up on the board, let senators cast their vote, and then let the chips fall where they will, because there are 8 Democrats up for election next year in states that were carried overwhelmingly by Donald Trump and where Obamacare is particularly unpopular and unpalatable.
And Tony, late today, the president said he is not going to own this failure of passing a new health care bill, and neither is the Republican Party. Do you think they will with these seats up for grabs?
Well, they will, because the thing that both Charlie and I know, being lobbyists in another life, is that when you have a controversial piece of legislation, not some health care, but whatever it is, you've got to build public support for it and get a majority of the public on your side. There may be support to dismiss Obamacare in some states, but overall the national polling is consistent that it's about 50% in favor of Obamacare, only 25% in favor of repealing it. They needed, and Republicans own that. Pushing a bill that's unpopular.
Charlie, we know the president's not afraid to jump on Air Force One and get out there and talk to the people. Should he have done more to get out to these areas and districts whose Republican senators have not been quite in full support of this health care plan?
That's one place, but I think the real touch point, Rob, is in getting some bipartisanship here. And the place where you're going to get bipartisanship is in those states where Democratic senators are afraid for their own hides, because unfortunately this is ultimately very political, and it is the art of the possible, and I think that's where the possibilities lie, is in those areas.
We do have bipartisanship. 8 governors, Dems and Republicans both, including Governor Wolf here in Pennsylvania, sent a letter to the White House today and to Congress saying to preserve medical assistance, Medicaid.
Yeah, and Governor Wolf's actions in undoing what Governor Corbett had done, which even the Patriot News is saying was a pretty good idea in retrospect, has caused this problem to be exacerbated.
9 out of 10 people now have health care in Pennsylvania for the first time ever.
And let's talk about what that has cost and what that has meant. It is Medicaid, which is really at issue here. Tony is correct. It is absolutely unsustainable as it now stands. And the taxpayers of Pennsylvania and the taxpayers of the United States simply can't afford the path upon which we have headed.
But Governor Wolf's numbers remain pretty positive right now.
It's the most popular thing that he's done, expanding health care. As I said, 9 out of 10 Pennsylvanians now have health care protections. That's the first time that's ever happened, and it's going to be really difficult to take it away from people. We have to make some changes, Charlie. I think that you're right. We need to do a better financing system for Medicaid so it will pay its own way.
And we need to get, okay, I'm sorry, you're out of time?
Yeah, I'll let you make a last point.
I think we need to get this back to the states, the federal government out of it. We need to allow competition across state lines. We need real tort reform, and we need drug and hospital pricing reform.
Gentlemen, so much to talk about. We're going to have you back at 6. We'll talk a little bit more about this, possibly the state budget. You can catch our Political Insiders right here every Tuesday, and make sure to join us for Face the State every Sunday morning at 8:30.